The last class we were dealing with waves and sound. We're left with few more questions. So today we'll proceed from where we had stopped. Question number 20. Amplitude of a wave represented by displacement equation y equals 1 by root a sin omega t plus or minus 1 by root b cos omega t. We need to find amplitude of this particular wave. See, one is sine function, other is cosine function. So it can be considered as superposition of two simple harmonic motions. One is sine function, other is cosine function. Phase difference between them is pi by 2. So resultant amplitude will be, see, resultant amplitude is given by root of a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi, where phi is phase difference between this function and this function. Here clearly the phase difference is pi by 2, sine function and cosine function. Cos pi by 2 will become 0, so this entire term becomes 0. So in this case, what happens to resultant amplitude? Root of, first one has amplitude 1 by root a square plus 1 by root b square. That will be root of 1 by a plus 1 by b. So that should be, AB will be LCM. You'll get a plus b in the numerator under root. That is option A. Yes, hope you have taken this. We'll move on to next. Water waves produced by a motorboat sailing in water are only longitudinal, only transverse, both longitudinal and transverse, neither longitudinal nor transverse. See, when you come across water waves, so it is always both longitudinal and transverse. See, water waves spread away from the source of disturbance sideways, and during the motion of the wave, the particles of water on the surface, they move up and down. So because of this, they have transverse nature, but inside water, they travel as longitudinal way. So both longitudinal and transverse it is. So it must be option C. It is just like ripples. It is both longitudinal and transverse. See, transverse waves can be produced only in those media where you can define shear modulus. That means when you produce shear, the material should oppose that. But in case of water or any liquid, you cannot define shear modulus. You can define only bulk modulus. So here, in case of water, when motorboat goes sailing in water, what happens? The particles of water on the surface, they move up and down. That is due to gravitational force, not due to shear modulus. They move up and down due to gravitational force. So this acts as the restoring force here. So no need of having shear modulus. So in that sense, it becomes longitudinal. In the absence of gravity, there won't be any longitudinal component. Longitudinal waves can be produced only on solids, neither in gas nor in liquids. Yes, hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. There is no transmission of energy in electromagnetic waves, transverse progressive waves, longitudinal progressive wave, stationary waves. So not transfer of waves means in case of electromagnetic waves, there is transfer of energy. In case of transverse waves, longitudinal waves, there is transfer of energy. Only in stationary wave, there will be no transfer of energy. That's why it is stationary. It doesn't carry energy in any direction. So it must be option D. Stationary means it is standing wave. So it doesn't carry energy in any direction. Yes, hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. The property of medium necessary for wave propagation is inertia, elasticity, low resistance, all of the above. Yes. See, velocity of sound in a medium is given by root of E by rho. So E is elasticity, rho is density. So it depends on elasticity, that is for true, and it depends on inertia. Density means it is measure of inertia. Then of course there must be low resistance. So the correct answer is option D, all of the above. So for wave propagation, all the three must be there. So it must be option D. Yes. Hope you have taken this. So move to next. When a sound wave goes from one medium to another, quantity that remains unchanged is frequency, amplitude, wavelength, speed. Hope you can answer this. So when any wave goes from one medium to another medium, we call it as refraction. So what remains constant during a refraction? Only two people answered. Yes, 3, 4, 5. Yes, it is frequency which remains constant because frequency is property of the source, not the medium. Frequency is fixed at the source. It doesn't depend on medium. So when light goes from one medium to another medium, there also frequency remains constant. Yes, hope you have taken this. Shall move to next. Where will a person hear the maximum sound? At nodes, antinodes, harmonics, same at nodes and antinodes. So sound heard here should be maximum. See, in a stationary wave, the points where amplitude is maximum, that is called antinode, and points which are permanently at rest, they are called nodes. So here they are asking about hearing, PHEAR. Where do you hear maximum sound? That means you are speaking about stationary wave produced by sound wave. See, here whatever the graph we draw to show antinodes and nodes, this is with respect to displacement. That means along y-axis we have taken displacement. So displacement antinode is actually pressure node. Displacement antinode is pressure node, and displacement node must be pressure antinode. Displacement node must be pressure antinode. So where there is pressure antinode, there pressure will be maximum, right? So there you hear maximum, right? So sound heard will be maximum at pressure antinode, and pressure antinode is what? Displacement node. So the answer should be A. So it should be A. So make a note of this. Displacement antinode is pressure node and pressure antinode is displacement node. Yes, hope you have taken this. We shall move on to next. Velocity of sound in gas increased by 0.61 meter per second when temperature rises by 1 degree Celsius, decreases by 0.61 when temperature rises by 1 degree Celsius, depends upon pressure of the gas, depends upon coefficient of shearing of the gas. See, this is also memory based. So for every 1 degree rise in temperature, velocity of sound increases by 0.61 meter per second in air. Not be in a gas, it should be in air. It doesn't depend on pressure. It is independent of pressure. But of course, yes, in the formula there is pressure and density. If pressure increases, density also increases, so that velocity is independent of pressure. Yes. Hope you have taken this. We shall move to next. In the experiment to determine speed of sound using resonance column, prongs of tuning fork are kept vertical plane, prongs of tuning fork are kept in horizontal plane. If one of the two resonances observed, in one of the two resonances observed, length of resonating air column is close to the wavelength of sound in air. In one of the two resonances observed, length of the resonating column is close to half the wavelength of sound in air. See, if this is the resonance tube, air column, then tuning fork should be held this way. So that means it is kept in vertical plane. And when it comes to these two, C and D, velocity of sound in that experiment is given by 2f into L2 minus L1. So L2 minus L1 should be of the order of lambda by 2. If that is the case, 2 get cancelled, it should be f lambda, right? So L2 minus L1 should be roughly lambda by 2. But here what they have given, one of the two resonating lengths, it is equal to lambda by 2. So this is also wrong, this is also wrong. And if, of course, if it is in vertical plane, cannot be in horizontal plane. So it should be option A. Prongs should be held vertical. Yes. If we have taken this, shall move on to next. What is the effect of humidity on sound waves when humidity increases? Speed of sound waves is more, speed of sound waves is less, speed of sound waves remains same, speed of sound waves become 0. See, speed of sound in air is given by root of gamma p by rho. And remember, density of humid air is less than density of dry air. So with increase in humidity, density decreases, so velocity increases. So it must be option A. Yes. you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Intensity of harmonic wave depends upon frequency and not its frequency and not on its frequency. Depends upon amplitude and not on frequency. Depends upon both its frequency and amplitude. Here it is a mistake. Depends upon both frequency and amplitude. So first one should be depends upon frequency, not on its amplitude. Fourth one depends neither on frequency nor on its amplitude. So intensity of a harmonic wave is given by 2 pi square f square a square rho v. So it depends on frequency also, amplitude also. So it must be option C. Yes. Hope you have taken this. Shall we go on to next? Rate of transfer of energy in a wave depends on directly on square of the wave amplitude and square of wave frequency, directly on square of wave amplitude and root of wave frequency, directly on wave amplitude and square of wave frequency, none of these. See, here I had written this formula, intensity is 2 pi square f square a square rho v. So rate of transfer of energy is nothing but intensity only. So it depends on square of frequency and square of amplitude. That must be option A. Yes. Hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Coming to 31. A progressive wave y equals a sine of kx minus omega t is reflected by a rigid wall at x is equal to 0. Then reflected wave can be represented by. See here, it is reflected by rigid wall at x is equal to 0. See here, clearly kx minus omega t is there. So since there is minus sign, it is traveling along positive x-axis. So reflected wave should be traveling along negative x-axis. So it must be kx plus omega t. That is one thing. And it is reflected by rigid wall. So what happens? Wave get reversed. So if it is falling like this on the wall, reflected wave will go this way. So it must be traveling along negative x direction, and it must be sine wave with negative sign. So it must be this one, a sine minus a sine omega t. This option is printed wrong. It should be kx plus omega t. So it must be option D. Correct the option also. So it is starting from negative half cycle. That's why minus sine kx plus omega t. It is traveling from right to left. That is traveling along negative x direction. So it must be option D, kx plus omega t. Minus a sine of kx plus omega t. Yes. Shall move on to next. A pipe open at both ends will produce all harmonics, all the odd harmonics, all the even harmonics, none of the harmonics. See, pipe open at both the ends is called open pipe. See, in open pipe, frequencies are in the ratio 1:2, 2:3, 4, so on. So all harmonics are present. Yes. We have taken this. We'll move on to next. The pipe. Next one. For which of the following cases there will be no Doppler effect? If source and listener both move in same direction with same speed. If one of the source listener is at center of a circle while other is moving on it. When both source and listener are at rest. All of this. Very simple question. See, in option A, both listener and source are moving in the same direction. There is no relative motion, so there will be no Doppler effect. In case B, one of the source or listener is at the center of the circle while other is moving on it, then the distance won't change, so there will be no Doppler effect. When both source and listener are at rest, so there is no relative motion, there is no Doppler effect. So correct answer is all of these. Not just C, all the three are correct. See, if you observe the derivation for Doppler effect, frequency change is due to change in wavelength. So distance between source and listener in case B remains constant. That's the meaning of circle, right? So wavelength won't change, so frequency also won't change. There won't be any Doppler effect in case B also. So source is at the center, observer is moving around, in that case also. Yes. Hope you have taken this. We'll move to next. Which of the following statements are correct about standing wave? In a standing wave, the disturbance produced is confined to a region where it is produced. In a standing wave, all particles cross their mean position together. In a standing wave, energy is transmitted from one region to other. Options are 1 and 2, only 2, only 3, 1, 2 and 3. See, what they're asking is which of the statements are correct. Definitely this is wrong. Right? 3 is wrong. So in a standing wave, energy is not transmitted. That's why it is standing wave. So what about 1? So it is confined to a given region. That is correct. Then all the particles cross their mean position together, though not in same direction. So in a loop, within a loop or a segment, all of them cross mean position together in the same direction. So if you take neighboring loops, they cross in opposite directions. So 1 and 2 are correct. So it must be option A. Yes. Hope you have taken this. Shall move to next. The diagram below shows propagation of a wave. Which points are in same phase? F and G, C and E, B and G, B and F. See, if I consider these 2 points B and F, they are at same position. They are at same position. Then B is moving towards negative extreme. F is also moving towards negative extreme. So both are at same state of vibration. So both are moving towards negative extreme and both are at same position. So direction of traverse is same and also the position is same. That's why they are in phase. So it should be B and F. But if you look at F and G, the thing is G is moving upwards, F is moving downwards. So they are not in same phase, right? It is something like, let's say this is school, this is home. So F is going towards school and G is coming from school to home. So they are at different states, right? So it must be option D. Yes, hope you have taken this. Two pulses in a stretched string whose centers are initially 8 centimeters apart are moving towards each other as shown in figure. Speed of each pulse is 2 centimeters per second. After 2 seconds, total energy of the pulses will be 0, purely kinetic, purely potential, partly kinetic, partly potential. See, after 2 seconds, each will cover 2 centimeters. So both the centers of the two pulses coincide. So the wave becomes this way. This will be the case, right? There'll be a complete loop. So the total energy of the pulses will be purely kinetic because all the particles are vibrating, nothing is at rest. All the particles in the pulse are vibrating, nothing is at rest. So entire energy is kinetic energy. So it must be option B. Shall move on to next. A wave traveling in positive x direction having displacement along y direction as 1 meter, wavelength 2 pi meter and frequency 1 pi hertz is represented by. Yes, here it should be as amplitude is 1 meter, wavelength is 2 pi meter and frequency is 1 by pi hertz. So y equals a sine of omega t minus kx. This should be the case. If a is 1 meter, it should be 1 sine of omega is 2 pi into f. F is 1 by pi into t. Anyways, all are in the form of kx minus omega t. Doesn't make any difference whether it is kx minus omega t or omega t minus kx, it will be same. So k value is 2 pi by lambda. Lambda is 2 pi into x minus omega is 2 pi into f, that is 1 by pi into t. That should be sine of x minus 2t. That is option D. Yes. Hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Which of the following represents the equation of a spherical progressive wave? So in case of spherical progressive wave, amplitude is not constant. It should be inversely proportional to distance r. Amplitude should be inversely proportional to distance r. So here amplitude of this is a constant, this is also constant, this is a by root 2, this is constant, this is a by r. So this must be spherical progressive wave. Right. So we'll move on to next. If N1, N2, N3 are fundamental frequencies of three segments into which string is divided, then the original fundamental frequency N of the strings is given by. String is divided into three parts. Each segment has frequency N1, N2, N3. Then original strings frequency, if it is N, how are they related? See, frequency of a vibrating string is given by 1 by 2L root of T by mu, where mu is mass per unit length, T is tension, L is vibrating length. So clearly F is inversely proportional to L. So total length, if I take L, should be equal to L1 plus L2 plus L3. This is total length. So frequency is inversely proportional to length. So L can be replaced by 1 by N. That should be equal to 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2 plus 1 by N3, because frequency is inversely proportional to length. Frequency here they have given it as N. So it must be option A. Replace each length by reciprocal of frequency. Yes. Hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Last question in this worksheet. A source of sound is moving with uniform speed along a circle. Frequency of sound as heard by listener stationed at the center of the path increases, decreases, remains the same, may increase or decrease alternatively. So we have already answered this question. It is moving in circular path and listener is at the center of the circular path. Distance between source and the listener remains unchanged. So what would happen to frequency? It remains unchanged. Should be option C. There is no Doppler effect in this case. Yes. Hope you have taken this. So that completes waves and sound worksheet. So note on homework before we start next one. Homework is question number 21 to 40 in waves and sound. So now we shall move on to next worksheet. advanced simple harmonic motion. So here also we have 40 questions. Let us consider one by one. This might take more time, so let us start early. We have 2 more days after this. So if we solve some 5-6 questions today, could be better. A particle executes simple harmonic motion of amplitude 4 centimeter and t is equal to 4 seconds. What is the time taken by it to move from positive extreme position to half the amplitude? So amplitude is given 4 centimeter, time period is 4 seconds. So equation of this SHM can be of the form y equals a sine of omega t plus pi. So if it starts from positive extreme, so at t is equal to 0, y should be equal to a, which means a is equal to, put these two conditions in this, a is equal to a sine of 0 plus phi, correct? So a get cancelled. This means sine phi is equal to 1, that is phi is equal to pi by 2. So what do you get? Y equals a sine of omega t plus pi by 2, that is equal to a cos omega t. This is the equation, right? Now time period is given 4 seconds. How much time it will take from extreme position to half the amplitude? So for half the amplitude, y should be equal to a by 2. Substitute that here. So a by 2 equals a cos omega t. So a get cancelled. You'll get cos omega t equals half. So cos 60, it should be omega t 2 pi by t into t. Omega is 2 pi by t into t. That should be equal to 60 degrees pi by 3. So pi get cancelled. You'll get small t is equal to capital T divided by 6. So capital T is given 4 seconds. So it should be 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3 seconds. So it must be option B. First find the equation of motion, then put the condition. Yes. Shall move on to next. An object of mass 0.8 kg is attached to one end of a spring and system is set into simple harmonic motion. The displacement x of object as a function of time is shown in the figure. Magnitude of object's acceleration at t is equal to 1 second is. See, from the diagram, time period is 4 seconds. So one cycle is completed after 4 seconds, right? This is 4 seconds. So omega is what? 2 pi by t. That is 2 pi by 4. That is pi by 2. Pi is 3.14. So this should be 1.57 radian per second. This is omega. See, at t is equal to 1 second, x is 0.8, this much it is 0.08. At t is equal to 1 second, x is equal to 0.08. Therefore, acceleration is omega square into x. It should be minus omega square x. They're asking for only magnitude. So magnitude of acceleration is omega square x. So omega is 1.57 square into 0.08. So what do we get? 0.197. That is option C. Hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. A uniform rod of length L, 60 centimeter, is suspended through an end and is set into oscillation with small amplitude under gravity. Find the time period of oscillation. See, time period of oscillation is given by 2 pi root of I divided by mgl, where I is moment of inertia and L is distance of center of gravity from the lowest point. So that should be 2 pi root of, it is set into oscillation about one end, so it should be ml square by 3, moment of inertia of the rod, divided by mg into distance of center of gravity is L by 2, because it is exactly at the center. They have given it is uniform rod. So that should be 2 pi root of m and L get cancelled. So it will be 2L divided by 3G. So substitute for it, 2 into 3.14 into root of 2 into 60 centimeter, that is 0.6, divided by 3 into 10. Yes, they have kept pi as it is. So keep pi as it is. So 2 into 0.6 is 1.2 divided by 30. So square root will be 0.2 into 2, that is 0.4 pi. So this must be the answer, option A. Yes, hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Two SHMs are given by y1 equals a sine of pi by 2 into t plus 5, y2 equals b sine of 2 pi t by 3 plus 5. Phase difference between them after 1 second is. Yes. See, mathematically phase means this entire thing. So take their difference, that will give you phase difference. So delta phi is what? 2 pi t by 3 plus 5 minus pi by 2 into t plus 5. So that will be 5 get cancelled. 2 pi by 3 minus pi by 2 into t. So LCM will be 6. This will be 4 pi minus 3 pi. That will be pi. So it will be pi by 6 into t. At t is equal to 1 second, delta phi, substitute t is equal to 1, it will be pi by 6. Not seconds, just pi by 6. That is the phase difference. Yes, hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. Two SHM are respectively represented by y equals a sine omega t minus kx, y equals b cos omega t minus kx. Phase difference between the two is, see, one thing, you should first make both of them same function. See here, first one is sine function, other is cosine function, right? So first you should make it same function. So first one is, if I call it as y1, is a sine of omega t minus kx. So second one is, if I call it as y2, b sine of b cos of omega t minus kx. I can write this as b sine of pi by 2 plus omega t minus kx. I can write it this way. So clearly, this is the extra term. So this must be phase difference. That is option A, pi by 2. While taking phase difference, make sure that both the functions are same. Otherwise, make them same. Hope you have taken this. Shall move on to next. A particle executes SHM with amplitude 0.5 centimeter and frequency 100 per second. Maximum speed of the particle will be. Direct question. Maximum speed of particle is given by a omega. If you remember, we had used it in previous worksheet also. A is amplitude, that is 0.5 centimeter. Omega is 2 pi f. F is what? 100 per second. So that will turn out to be 0.5 into 2 is 110 power minus 2 get cancelled. So it will be pi meter per second. That is option A. Hope you have taken this. Yes. It's time up now. So we shall stop here. We shall continue in the next class. Thank you. Thanks for joining.